Anytime I go to Disney World, I absolutely always bring a backpack with me because honestly, there are some essentials that I absolutely do not like to go to Disney World without. And these essentials either help me save some money, some time, or honestly just help me go about my day whenever I'm at the Disney park. So, tonight for our live stream topic, I wanted to share with you all of the essentials that I like to either pack in my Disney World park bag or sometimes like to bring with me whenever going to Disney World in case you have any Disney World trips coming up and are considering bringing a park bag and are just trying to think about what kind of essentials you maybe would want to have or need to have whenever you are visiting the Disney park. So, thank you all very much for being here tonight. Before we get into our topic, I want to say that this is a video that's a part of our typical Wednesday live stream series that we do here on the channel. We do it at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So we always talk about some type of Disney topic or Disney thing that will help you on your Disney World vacation. So very excited tonight to talk about things that I like to pack in my Disney park bag. I usually talk about these whenever I do YouTube shorts and things, but I really wanted to do a live stream tonight to just talk a little bit more about the essentials I like to bring, why I like to bring them, and why they're helpful if you decide to bring a bag to Disney World. So thank you so much if you're watching on the live. If you're on the replay, thank you so much for being here as well. So before we go ahead and hop into our stream, I want to say hi to everyone that's in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here this week. We've got a lot of friends here tonight. Office Vol, thank you so much for being here. Junior's Lifestyle, hello, thanks for being here. And Junior's Lifestyle is saying, usually pack sunscreen, extra clothes, and socks, which is really great. I agree with that as well because you never know if it's going to rain or you go on a water ride and things get wet. So I definitely love that. Hey, Doofs, thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys are enjoying Epcot. Thanks for being here and glad you made it to Disney World. Disney World is my happy place. Thanks so much for being here. And you bring a fan and food. Fan is really great. And yes, you know, I love my snacks whenever it comes to going to Disney World. So I am right there with you. So, Doofs, you're saying water and camera equipment, definitely agree with that. Umbrellas, we're going to get a lot of these things you guys are mentioning are things that I definitely bring as well, but straws are really good. Yes, straws, because Disney World usually has paper straws. People get very finicky about that. So if you don't want to have paper straws, consider bringing your own straws to Disney World. Ziploc baggies, I like that. Water shoes, definitely great items there, guys. Hey, Emily, thanks for being here. And let's see, who else do we have here? And not Carol Pink. Hello. Thank you so much for being here. So, Chairman of Cheap Seats, hello. Book Nerd, hello. Hey, Gabe. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I'm excited to get on into this stream and chit chat with you all. So, and then we also have always pack a phone charger. Yes, fan, snacks, water, and ponchos. Definitely love that. So yeah, you guys definitely have the right idea whenever it comes to Disney park bag essentials, because those are some of the things that I bring as well. So thank you again so much, guys, for being here. So we'll go ahead and hop into the stream. Of course, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to put them in the chat and we will talk about them during the stream. So before we hop into it, I wanted to also share with you kind of park bag I usually like to take to the Disney park. So if you've seen my videos before, you know I am a huge fan of Loungefly bags for numerous reasons. One, of course, I love them because there is honestly a Loungefly for everyone. They come in so many styles, designs, characters, themes, all of that good stuff. And I absolutely love them because they can match your outfits whenever you go to the Disney parks. But I also really like them because they're very durable bags, in my opinion. I like that they're like the faux leather material. I like that they don't get wet as bad if it does rain in the parks, and they definitely are a nice size to hold. Personally, I think like if you're like a solo person going to the parks, or if you're carrying items for just yourself, they're a very good size. There are bags that are larger than the standard mini backpack size bags, but I usually like bringing Loungeflies whenever it comes to Disney World. They have nice padded straps, so they don't really hurt your shoulders throughout the day. But whenever it comes to bags that I like to take to Disney World, I always like to bring bags that either have side pockets or front pockets. I am all about the pockets. So I like side pockets because this is very helpful. We're getting into some of the essentials I like to bring, but if you have like a portable charger that you want to use in the parks, I like putting the portable charger in the side pocket so that way I can charge my phone but still go about my day in the parks and walk around and still have it charging. Another thing that I like is I like to also put my phone in the side pocket if I go on a ride. I find that with Loungefly bags, if I don't have a side pocket on those bags, it definitely feels a little bit weird, and I have to either have pockets in my shorts or just put them in the large portion of my bag. But I also like the front pocket because it just has more space, and I like to put my keys and wallet and all of that stuff inside there. And commonly used items I also like to put in the front pocket. I find that it's just really easy to have a place that you know where some of your frequently used items are, so that way you can just go in there instead of fishing around in the big portion of the bag. So usually I will bring Loungefly bags with me. Sometimes I have brought hiking backpacks if I need like a lot more items, if I want to bring a jacket, or if I have other items for people that I may go with. I like to bring such like a bigger bag. But I've also brought, before I started using Loungefly backpacks, I was using collapsible backpacks, which I thought was very nice because they are very lightweight. If you're traveling to Disney World, these are great because this is an Oakley bag. It does collapse down into a little pouch, if you will. So it's very nice to pack inside a suitcase. But I also like, I think I said, it's very lightweight. The straps were good on my shoulders. I found that it didn't hurt my shoulders at all, but it's also nice if you need to put things on a ride, if you're wanting to put it at your feet whenever going on rides. It's kind of flexible, so you can kind of squish it around as you need to. So these are great. I've had some Columbia collapsible backpacks that I've used before, but usually I go with Loungefly bags when going to Disney World. But all that to say, I definitely just recommend that you bring bags that are comfortable. Just like when I talk about shoes, make sure you're bringing a bag that's comfortable, that you know you can wear for a full day at Disney World. If you've got a lot in it, make sure it's comfortable on your back, that it's not digging into your shoulders and hurting. So definitely test out the bags that you decide to bring to Disney World, so that way you know that you can wear it a full day, and definitely have all of your essential items on hand. So before we hop into the actual essentials that I bring, I want to hop. So yeah, Loungefly is essential. I absolutely love Loungeflies. I think I have probably 9. So yeah, I do really enjoy them. So and let's see. Okay, bought the 50th bigger bag last trip. Yes, there's a lot of 50th anniversary Loungefly bags in the parks right now. Bought the 50th one as well. Very nice. Yeah, definitely love Loungeflies. You guys definitely know that about me. So, and yeah, I definitely, if you can find a bag that's waterproof as well, that's perfect, especially during the summertime right now, whenever we're doing the stream. It's not uncommon for there to be a storm that rolls through. So you definitely want to make sure that you have a waterproof bag, so that way it can take care of all of your essentials that you have. And yes, Doofs, I like this as well. If you want to bring a bigger bag that does have a cooler section, this is perfect for if you have some snacks that you want to bring that you maybe want to keep a little bit refrigerated or cool, if you will, whenever you're at the parks. So definitely you can check on Amazon. I've seen a lot of really great cooler bags. There also is a 50th anniversary bag that is a cooler backpack that you can get at Disney World. So that's also another option that you can choose from. But that basically is what I think about whenever it comes to the bags that I like to take to Disney World. So we'll go ahead and actually hop into the essentials that I like to take. So first I'm going to start with the essentials that I absolutely just always have in my park bag. And then I'm going to share some essentials that I've taken a couple of times, maybe that I should honestly take more often, or that I've seen a lot of people take that are very helpful to have in the parks. So the first thing I'm going to start with right off the bat is something that I just always have, and that is a water bottle. You guys already know, I always talk about this. You want to drink a lot of water whenever you're at the Disney parks. You're going to be running around. It could be hot. You want to stay hydrated. You want to keep up on your hydration. And so you're always going to want to have a bottle of water on hand whenever it comes to going to Disney World. Yes, you can purchase water at Disney World, but it does get very expensive if you're wanting to purchase multiple bottles of water throughout the day. It's not uncommon for Disney bottled water to be anywhere from like $3 to $6. It just depends on the location that you're buying it at. But the nice thing about getting water at Disney World is there are water fountains that you can find all throughout the park that you can refill your water throughout the day. Sometimes they're outside of the restroom. Some are in the actual lines for rides, depending on how popular the ride is. And they're just placed all throughout the park. Another thing that I really like that I've started doing more recently is actually going into quick service restaurants and Starbucks. You can go and ask for ice cold glasses of water, which are perfect to cool you off and keep you hydrated throughout the day. I'll usually ask them for a glass of water. I'll drink it if I am in the quick service restaurant, or I'll just pour it in my bottle so that way I can put it back in my bag. So definitely, I recommend having a water bottle on hand. I am a little bit different, and I actually just bring a bottle of water, like a plastic water bottle, because I find that this cuts down on the space and the weight in my actual backpack. And in case I lose it or forget it or have to throw it away for whatever reason, it's not a big deal. But I do see a lot of people also bringing like the Yeti styled or the Hydro Flask bottles. Those are great to actually keep water ice cold throughout the day. But I find that if you're able to just go into quick service restaurants and ask for ice cold glasses of water, those aren't necessarily needed if you just want to do bottles of water. So you can have these delivered to your resort if you are traveling to Disney World. If you do a grocery delivery, just get a case of water. It's a lot cheaper, and then you have water on you throughout the day. So that's enough of my water rant, because I could talk about that a lot. But another thing I absolutely always bring are sunglasses. I usually wear my contacts whenever I go to the Disney parks, and it's usually sunny because we're in Florida, and I always like to have sunglasses on hand. There have been a couple of times that I have either gotten into my car and I've gotten to Disney World and found out that I did not have sunglasses on hand. And I'm very sad because it is very bright and it definitely hurts my eyes at times. So I always like to have sunglasses on hand with me. Another thing, I guess this is for people with long hair. I either like to have a ponytail on hand or I like to have a clip on hand. So during the summer here, for whatever reason, I've really been on a clip kick. I've always had like a clip in my hair just to keep my hair off of my neck, but I also like having a ponytail on hand, not only for whenever it's hot outside, but even for in the Florida winter, if I'm going on like a roller coaster or a ride that is a lot more high speed, I like having a ponytail on hand because I find that it keeps my hair out of my face and my hair doesn't get as messed up whenever I'm on the ride. So I always like having some type of thing that will keep my hair up and out of my face or just will keep me cool throughout the day. Another thing that I don't necessarily have in my park bag, but it is something that I always take to the parks, and those are Magic Bands. So, of course, we've got the regular Magic Band. I've been talking a lot recently about the Magic Band Plus. Either is fine, but I like bringing the Magic Bands. I find it's really easy to just scan in and out of the parks with these. I don't have to use my park ticket. These are not an essential when going to Disney World, but it is definitely nice to have. So I always have Magic Bands on hand whenever I go to the parks. And then another thing that I absolutely always have that I talk about a lot as well is a portable charger. So I always bring this portable charger with me. This is definitely more of a heavy duty one that I have, but you can also purchase fuel rods before your trip, or you can buy them at the Disney parks as well. The nice thing about the fuel rods are you can actually exchange them for full fuel rods at the Disney parks. So I think on Amazon, you can get 2 for $30, I think a deal is. I'm not sure if at Disney World, if they are $30 a piece, I'd have to look at it again. But it's nice. You can purchase them before your trip and take them. And if you run out of battery or charge on the fuel rod, you can exchange them at some of the locations in the Disney park. So that is a very convenient thing to have. But all that to say, I like to have a portable charger on hand because you're definitely going to be on your phone whenever you are at the Disney parks. And the My Disney Experience app, and if you have the new Magic Band Plus, the Play Disney app, are 2 apps that are definitely going to eat away at your battery. And those are 2 apps that I really enjoy having whenever at the parks. I find them very helpful and fun to use whenever at the parks. So I always have a portable charger on hand to keep my phone charged, but also now I'm also bringing and adding to my essentials my Magic Band Plus charger, because the Magic Bands we've seen have really only had like a half-day charge in my experience. So if you're using the Magic Band Plus, you'll want to definitely take advantage of seeing them during the nighttime fireworks shows. That's one of the fun features about these things. And so I found that I was at the parks early afternoon, and about dinner time, it was needing charge. So I charged it up for the fireworks show, and it was all ready and good to go. And my portable charger was able to charge it up the full way because it does have the USB port on the other end. So usually I would just use a typical iPhone cable and the Magic Band Plus cable to charge with the portable charger. But in case you don't have a portable charger or it dies or whatever reason. It's also nice to bring just a block that you can plug into an outlet. In the parks, there are some charging areas that you can go to. Connections Cafe, or just a couple to name, or just to name a few. Connections Cafe at Epcot, by Soarin' at Epcot, there's a charging area. In Magic Kingdom near the Tangled Bathrooms, there is a charging area. So there are some limited places that actually have outlets at Disney World. So those are some places that you could take advantage of for actually charging. But also, all that to say, just consider bringing a portable charger with you so that way your phone doesn't die, because you're going to want to take pictures. You're going to want to communicate with family members if you're there and you get split up. And I really like looking at wait times and making dining reservations and everything on the My Disney Experience app. So definitely just consider bringing a portable charger with you. But also another thing that I absolutely like to bring with me, and it can be a hassle to have on hand at times, is rain gear. But whenever you need it, you definitely will be thankful that you have it, especially during the summer times. Now, there have been crazy storms rolling through, and I've seen a lot of people either get stuck in a gift shop, I know from personal experience, or I see people that are just running around the parks and they are absolutely soaked, and that's not something that you want to have happen. So usually I like to just bring an umbrella on hand. I like this one because it's just a little compact umbrella that fits inside of even my Loungefly bag. There are bigger umbrellas, of course. I'll see people just holding them in their hands, but this is nice because it just fits right inside of my backpack. So I definitely like bringing an umbrella on hand with me. But just to talk about rain gear as well, you can also bring ponchos with you. You can get a pack of ponchos on Amazon, or you can get these at the dollar store. I personally don't usually use ponchos just because I don't like, whenever they get wet, having to either put them back in my bag or just throw them away or whatever. I just find it easier to have an umbrella on hand. But these are perfect for if you have a family, and they are just nice and compact. You can fit them in your park bag and they're cheaper. Definitely get them ahead of time, because I think a Disney park poncho costs about $12. And honestly, I don't really use ponchos in my day-to-day life. I don't know how often you do, but if you wanted to save some money and some time, definitely have some rain gear on hand, so that way you don't have to rush into a gift shop and pick one up to continue out your day. So you can also bring raincoats as well. I've done that, but during the summertime, I like keeping cool and just usually having an umbrella on hand. Another thing that I'll usually bring that I don't have necessarily all together right now, but I'll usually bring snacks with me to the Disney park. I like bringing snacks because I like having them on hand whenever I'm in rides. Of course, they save money. I know a lot of people in my comments have always been like, just buy food at Disney World, and I totally get that. But for how frequently I go to the Disney parks, it would definitely add up in cost if I were to purchase food every time I go to the Disney park. So I personally do like bringing snacks with me. When it comes to snacks, I like bringing like Goldfish crackers. These are Scooby-Doo snacks that I just have for the next time I go to the parks. I also like bringing like fruit snacks or Fruit Leathers. Chips are great. I also like having some type of fruit or vegetable. So yes, I will bring peppers, celery, apples, orange slices, all of those things. So I definitely enjoy bringing snacks with me whenever I go to the parks, because it's nice having them on hand, especially if you have kids and they are getting hangry. You do not want to deal with hunger when at the Disney park. So it's just very helpful to have snacks on hand. I will, of course, get the occasional snack at Disney World. It's not uncommon for me to get a Dole Whip at Magic Kingdom or the Black Calf Cold Brew at Hollywood Studios. So I definitely do still snack at Disney. So, but those are all the things that I definitely bring to the Disney parks. And I absolutely do not go without them whenever it comes to packing my Disney park bag. And before I get into some of the extra things that sometimes I bring, I do want to share with you how I pack my bag. So this seems a little bit strange, but it is for a reason. I will usually put the snacks on the bottom of my bag. And then whenever going through security or whenever getting into the parks, you do have to go through metal detectors. And some of the items that always go off are sometimes your cell phone. I've seen some people say that their cell phones don't go off. Portable chargers go off, umbrellas go off, and then eyeglasses cases are another thing that go off all the time in the going through the metal detectors. So if you want to save some time going through the metal detectors, you can have these out and on hand and just held in front of you whenever you go through, and they won't necessarily set off the metal detector. Now, of course, if you have anything else in your bag that may set it off, it may go off, but these are some items that are just always good to have out and on hand to save you some time. So that way you don't have to waste time going through the bag check. So all that to say, I like to have these items on the top of my bag so they're just easy to just pull out and take out and just easily go right through security. So those are some of the things that I always take to me to the Disney parks. That's how I kind of pack my Disney park bag. But we'll get into the things that I sometimes bring or recommend. But I did want to hop back into the chat here to see what you guys are saying. So hope you guys enjoyed those essentials that I always like to take with me to the parks. But let's see here. Yes, once paid $30 for water bottle at Hollywood Studios. Yeah, you can't buy water bottles at the parks as well. But yeah, so I definitely can see that happening. So these are all just things that I have found to be very helpful from personal experience or from seeing people online or just that have gone to the parks that has been helpful. So yeah, I definitely enjoy having a water bottle on hand because I can definitely see that happening. But yes, okay, so I know I am someone that is not bothered by Disney World water, but I know a lot of people are. So I think the water fountains at some of the quick service restaurants are filtered. At least some people have said so. But another thing that people will bring in their park bags or just to have on hand are actually flavor packets. So if you do not like the taste of Disney World water, or if you don't really enjoy drinking water, you may want to consider having some flavor packets on hand to kind of encourage you to drink it throughout your day. I found that that's very helpful. So yeah, I see a lot of people here are not enjoying Disney World water, so I get that. But let's see here. Going to be hot tomorrow where you're from. I see that. Yeah, I know, Gabe, you ordered early. I know the Doofs here, maybe they were talking about it in the chat with you, but yeah, some of the Magic Bands that people have been ordering before their trip have not been sent yet. So I definitely hope that yours are able to get sent because I believe that there aren't able to be the orders aren't able to be canceled. So I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that they come in time for you to use them because they are so fun and I know you're looking forward to it. So, okay, yeah, so you guys were chit-chatting about that. Yeah, another thing that you guys know whenever it comes to shoes that I like to wear to Disney World, I like definitely considering water shoes. Of course, you know, I'm very passionate about choosing shoes that, you know, are comfortable, that are broken in, but water shoes or having shoes that either dry easily or water resistant are definitely a bonus as well. You guys already know that I use the Croc wedges. Those are my go-to Disney park shoes and honestly just my go-to life shoes now because they are comfortable and they are waterproof. So absolutely love those. So yes, water shoes are definitely another good part of rain gear. Two Broke Mice, hey, thanks so much for being here. Yes, I'm back from the wedding. That wedding weekend was last weekend. For everybody who doesn't know, I was out of town this past weekend, which is why I have not been able to get a lot of full-length videos out because my sister was getting married. So the wedding went well and everything went well there. So I was happy to be back and celebrating that. I will just very random, but she did have me film her wedding. So I'm very excited. I am going to be coming up with a wedding video for them. So I will have that probably pinned in my community tab if anybody does want to check that out whenever it is finished. So yeah, very excited about that. So I've gotten a lot of questions recently about weather in September. I would say that hurricane season is definitely coming to a peak here soon. Around September is when peak hurricane season is, but usually the rain isn't as bad as it is during the summertime. I found that it's a lot better weather during the Florida fall here. It can be very humid and hot still, but the rain isn't as bad as it is during the summertime. So definitely anytime that I talk about Disney tips, I always recommend checking the weather the week out of your trip and then the day of your trip. So that way you know what kind of rain gear or outfits to wear whenever you're going to the Disney parks. So that's kind of my thoughts on the weather as far as Florida here and in September. But I mean, of course, it rains occasionally here in Florida, so you never know what might happen. But yeah, so that's a little bit about the weather here during September. And let's see. Hey, Tia, thanks for being here. Usually, oh, I don't know. Okay. Usually I go to the parks about 2 times a week. I usually, now that we're kind of coming out of summertime, I will start going on the weekends more, but usually I like going during the week because it's not as busy. So usually I try to go about 2 times a week. Yeah, I do. I do snack like a little squirrel. I've talked about this. I think it was my last stream, but I will put the Loungefly in snack mode, which is where I have it on the front of me, and then I just kind of take out the snacks that I have inside of my bag, so that way I can continue my day going about the parks, but also make sure that I am keeping myself fueled because I do like to snack. I am a snacker, so um, yes, I have tried the ice cream sandwich in France. I am glad that you mentioned that because that is now one of my new go-to snacks whenever it comes to Disney World. I have the Black Calf Cold Brew in Hollywood Studios. I have the Dole Whip at Magic Kingdom. Now the brioche ice cream sandwich in the France Pavilion at Epcot. And I need to come up with one for Animal Kingdom. I have not had a go-to snack for that yet, but yes, yeah, calling me out, Two Broke Mice. That is one of my go-to snacks now. So, let's see. Okay, let's see. How worried should I be about my shirt rubbing and staining the back of my Loungefly backpack? Personally, I have not had any issues with my bags, usually because they are not the suede material. I don't have any of the suede material. I usually have the faux leather ones, and they're usually darker material bags. I have seen if people have the cream or white bags, they have kind of rubbed off a little bit, especially with jeans, they kind of rub. Personally, I have not had any issue with that whenever it comes to my bags, but I definitely would just keep an eye on it. Maybe make sure that your shirts are already washed because I know sometimes if you're wearing a new shirt, sometimes the dye will rub off. So make sure that they are washed shirts and just kind of keep an eye on it based on the shirt and clothing that you're wearing. Let's see. So depending on depending on sweat level and bag color, yeah, definitely agree. Wife's shirt was ruined. Okay, yeah, I haven't personally had experience with that, but maybe it's just the bags that I have and the shirts that I wear, I guess. Um, what will be good for new people at Disney? If you're talking in terms of essentials, I definitely recommend all of the things that I bring. I find that they're very helpful when I recommend them to people that don't usually go to Disney or haven't been before. They have had a lot of luck with these. Definitely, as if you are someone that has never been to the Disney parks or is new to the Disney parks, I do have some beginners or first time going to Disney World videos that you can check out. But all that to say too, I definitely recommend looking at vlogs and videos of the Disney parks, familiarizing yourself with the park maps so that way you get an idea of what is offered at the parks, but also kind of a layout so that way you can have a game plan of what you want to do whenever you're actually going to the parks. So that way you can make the most of your day. So yeah, and of course, if you have any questions about it, definitely leave it in the comment section below and I can answer any questions that you might have. Hey Tia, thanks for being here. Let's see. Rather than, oh, your shirt, you wouldn't be too sad if your shirt was ruined rather than your bag. Yeah, I definitely get that. I would just definitely just consider the shirt that you're wearing and the bag color that you have. I think is going to be the biggest thing. So let's see, stain your shirt. Okay, and yeah, there you go. Yeah, just buy one bag to match every shirt you own. Problem solved. I like that. Yes, that honestly, that is something that I would like to do, but these bags can be expensive. So, but yes. Yeah, definitely check out some videos. And of course, like I said, if you have any comments or questions about it, I love talking about Disney World. I love talking about Disney tips. That's my thing. So definitely feel free to ask any questions that you might have. So I think we're caught up on the chat. So I'm going to get into some of the things that I have seen people bring, I have either brought before or have found to be kind of helpful that honestly I should bring more often. So I did talk about the ponchos already. This is something that really I haven't ever brought to the Disney parks, but I've seen a lot of people do it. Like I said, especially if you have a lot more people that are going with you, these are nice because they don't take up a lot of room. You can either throw them away. If you are bringing ponchos though, I recommend bringing like a plastic bag or some type of bag you can throw them in and it won't get your bag wet whenever you are done with it, because you don't want to ruin everything that's in your bag after you have a wet poncho, especially if you want to use them more throughout your trip whenever you are at Disney World. Another thing that I've seen people bring is deodorant. Of course, whenever it gets hot in the Disney parks, you definitely sweat. It's nice to freshen up and maybe be considerate of those around you because you can definitely get smelly. I know from personal experience as well, TMI, but definitely I have brought deodorant sometimes, or I've seen people bring it. It's nice just to freshen up. That's a nice thing to have. Sunscreen is an essential. Usually, I should probably have this on hand more. I usually put sunscreen on at the beginning of my day, and usually it lasts throughout the day. But sunscreen is very nice to have. I know a lot of friends that I've gone to the parks with, they will either reapply halfway throughout the day in case it sweats off, or it just, you need another layer. So that way you don't burn whenever you're in the parks, because that is something, besides not having comfortable park shoes, getting burnt at Disney World is definitely something that you don't want to have happen. So definitely recommend considering sunscreen as well. Gum is also something that I really should bring to the parks more often, because fun fact, you can actually not buy gum at anywhere on Disney World property. I think the story behind it is that Walt didn't really want people spitting out their gum or leaving gum around the parks to kind of get it dirty. So honestly, he just never had it sold at the park. So you can't actually purchase gum at Disney World. So if you're a huge fan of chewing gum, I know I really like to have a piece of gum, especially after a meal, or, it's just something nice to have to freshen up. You definitely would want to consider bringing gum with you on your Disney World vacation or when going to Disney World, because you can't buy it on Disney property. So you might feel a little bit stranded if you aren't able to have it whenever you're going down, or whenever you get there and figure out that you can't actually purchase it. So I do like to bring gum at times. Usually I forget it, but I should just keep it in my bags, honestly. It's just nice to freshen up and something nice to have. Another thing that sometimes I will bring is a hairbrush. I don't know, for me personally, another way that I like to freshen up is to brush my hair. For whatever reason, it makes me feel a little bit better. So sometimes I'll bring a hairbrush. I like this one because it's just small and it can fit in my park bag with all of the other essentials that I like to bring with me. So at times, yes, I will bring a hairbrush. So you can consider bringing that as well. This isn't necessarily something that I keep in my bag. I'll keep it in my car so that way I have it on hand. But if I'm not choosing to wear Minnie Mouse ears, I do like to wear hats at times. My scalp burns very easily and I don't like that. So I will wear hats at times, but it's also nice to kind of keep your face shaded. If you don't have sunglasses, this is great to have. So hats are another essential that I will like to have at times. And then another thing that I probably should honestly just have on hand as well more often are band-aids. If you do start getting a blister when at the parks, it's nice having blister patches or band-aids on hand, so that way you can slap a band-aid on real quick and you can stop that blister from happening. I know people will also use this like tape material called moleskin as well. It's another thing that helps with either chafing or blisters that you may get whenever you are wearing shoes and walking around for long periods of time. So those are things that really I should probably keep on hand more often. I know the Croc wedges are very comfortable and they work very well for me, which is probably why I have not kept band-aids on hand. Another thing is, if you do not have band-aids, you can actually go to first aid and get one there. But usually first aid is located at the entrance of the park. And if you're starting to get a band-aid, or your child falls or you fall or get a scratch or whatever, you might not want to walk the entire way back to the entrance of the park to get a band-aid. So you might want to think about having it on hand. That might be a little bit more helpful. And the last thing that I have to say, which is what somebody mentioned earlier, is an extra pair of socks or clothing. So I know during the summertime, especially whenever I go to Animal Kingdom, that is the park that I definitely feel like I would like to have an extra pair of clothes, because you can get very hot, very sweaty. It's very humid in that park. And it's nice maybe thinking about having an extra shirt that you could change into. But socks are just a nice, easy thing that you can have on hand. If you go on a water ride and they get wet, if it decides to rain and you have to step in a puddle or run from ride to ride, or, shelter whenever it starts raining, it's nice to have socks on hand, so that way you can change out into a fresh pair and you don't have to worry about getting blisters or walking around in wet socks all day, because that is definitely not a feeling that you want to have. So those are some of the essentials that I have seen people bring, that I've brought before and found are helpful, or honestly should bring more often. So hope you guys enjoyed those essentials that I like to bring. Yes, so you can get a $5 poncho from Walmart. I think these ones honestly are from like the dollar store, which were like $1. So you could consider buying a huge pack of those, or a bunch of those before your trip. Or Amazon, I found a bunch of packs that you can purchase multiple ponchos for. I think you could get like 8 ponchos for the price of 1 Disney poncho at the Disney park. So that might be something you want to consider. Let's see. Always seem to get stuck in line with a couple who can't keep their hands off their stove, or the smelly people. Yes, I definitely get that. So it's always nice if you can freshen up for the people around you, or, you know, kind of have other people around you freshen up as well. So, because it can get hot in Disney World for sure. So, let's see. So, what Disney is the best? So, if you're talking about Disney parks, this is probably my personal opinion, but I personally like Magic Kingdom and Epcot as far as the Disney parks go. Those are two of my favorite parks. I find that Epcot is very nice and spread out, but it has a lot of things to see and do. And Magic Kingdom has a lot of great rides, and I love the atmosphere and just all of the things that goes into Magic Kingdom. So those are my thoughts as far as the best parks, if that is what you were talking about. So, but hello, thanks for being here. So yes, those are some of the essentials that I like to take to Disney World. I hope you found this video helpful. If you are thinking about going to Disney World, if you're watching here on the replay, let me know what essentials you like to bring to the Disney parks, because I'm always looking for things that may help me out whenever going to Disney World, or help other viewers out whenever going to the parks as well. So as I mentioned earlier in this video is a part of our usual Wednesday live streams that we do here on the channel at 7 p.m. Eastern time. We usually talk about Disney topics and ways to make your Disney vacations better. So hope this video was helpful tonight. And if you're watching on the replay, consider joining us next Wednesday. If you're watching here on the live stream, thank you so much for being here. Dominic, thank you so much for the support on the videos. I appreciate that. And thank you for being here. Heck of a llama. I really like that username. Thank you so much for being here. And hello, thank you for being here. So thank you guys. As I keep saying, thanks so much for the support and for being here. And we will see you guys in the next video. I did too. We are coming into spooky season, so I'm thinking next week is probably going to be geared towards some Halloween themed topics, because Halloween is making its way to Magic Kingdom. Mickey's Not So Scary is kicking off. I think next week I'm going to the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. So the following Wednesday will probably be a Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party tips video. So I'm very excited for all of this coming up in Disney Park news and Disney Park tips. So thank you guys so much for being here. Tia, thanks for being here. Gabe, thanks for being here. Thank you guys so much for the support. I appreciate it. And yes, we will see you guys in the next video. See you guys.